Okay, today I'm going to show you how to set up a sterile field. The first thing I'm going to need to do is make sure my height of the table is adjusted to my waist level. I'm going to take a towelette to wash off the table where I'm going to be setting up my sterile field. Then I'm going to be throwing that in the garbage. Okay. Today I'm going to open a bowl, and again, I'm going to make sure that nothing's been tampered with. The expiration date is on there. I can see that the lines are black so that I know it's been sterilized, and that's my first thing I'm going to check. My next equipment, I'm going to open a commercial package, which is a 4x4, and I'm going to look at the expiration date, and the expiration date is 2/15, so we're good there. The other thing I'm going to open up is a hemostat, and this is something that has been sterilized in our machine, and it doesn't look like it's been tampered with, and it expires 4/13/13, so we're good there. And the last thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to add some sterile water, and my sterile water is okay, expiration date is okay, and I've looked at that label the first time. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually open my sterile bowl. I always open sterile equipment the first piece away from me, so I'm going to untape it and I'm going to open it away from me. I'm going to look at where the tab is next. That's on my left side, so I'm going to open the tab to the left side. And again, I'm maintaining that inch on the outer border is not sterile. Everything else except that inch border is considered sterile. I'm going to grab my next tab here and I'm going to pull it off to the side. The last tab should always come towards me, so I'm going to grab that tab and pull it towards me. So because we're going to be adding liquid to the bowl, it's very difficult to add liquid to the bowl when it's sitting in the middle of the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off to the side and touch within my inch border on the outside, and I'm going to actually go ahead and push my bowl over to the side so that it's easier to put my fluid into the bowl. This is not a water resistant sheet, so I need to make sure that there isn't any splashing when I add my liquid. The next thing I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to look at my label and make sure it's the sterile water, and I've checked it now the third time, sterile water. I'm good to go. When I add my water to my bowl, I want to make sure that the label is in the palm of my hand. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this. I'm going to stand so that I don't reach over the sterile field, but that the water is about 4 to 6 inches above, and I'm just going to pour that right on in there. And later, after I'm done opening all my sterile supplies, I'm going to date, time, and initial this so everybody knows exactly when I open that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a commercial package. And you always want to go on a hard surface. It's just a little bit easier. You want to take the package and you want to peel it back, just like that, making sure not to contaminate. Then what you want to do is you want to pick it up and you kind of want to flip it onto your sterile field. So I'm going to just flip it onto my sterile field. And again, it's within that inch border, so that I should be good to go with that. If it was within that inch border, I wouldn't do anything. I would just let it there. I would grab a new one and I would just add the new one to my sterile field, not using the one that's within the inch border. The last thing I'm going to add to my sterile field is the piece of equipment that we sterilized ourselves, which is a hemostat. Same thing, you want to make sure that you have it on a hard surface, that you pull it open. And again, these are sometimes hard to balance, but if you get it on a hard surface. Okay, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to flip that on. It's just 1, 2, 3, flip, and that's good. All right, and so now I'm ready for the doctor to come in order to complete what he needs to do. My sterile field is set up. The last thing I need to do is just date and time and initial my bottle. And again, I'm going to just put, today is the 18th, and it's 12 o'clock, and my initials. And I'm going to put that off to the side so everybody knows when I open that. That's the procedure for setting up a sterile field.